Max, is this a big deal or no big deal?
Well, it's a big deal. First of all, if the Patriots, if he's not on an injury report and he's injured, yeah, that's a big deal. More than that, though, Stephen A., as you know, when I first joined this show, I said Tom Brady's going to fall off a cliff. That this is going to be last season. I gave him 18 months from the beginning of last season because no quarterback has been elite after age 41. Just hasn't happened. And so, possible exception, you could argue a little bit Warren Moon. Otherwise, not at all. And he didn't even get through that full age 41 season as an elite player. And then he was done. So when I say that, and I really don't want to be like, oh, I told you so. Look, he's getting concussions. See, I'm right. It's not to be taken lightly. That's a serious thing. But there's a reason that no one has played at an elite level after the age of 41 at the quarterback position, even with all the safeguards now in place for quarterbacks. Football is a brutal sport. You talk to football players, hey, you ever have an injury? They're injured on every single play. Like in normal life, almost every player would sustain what you would call an injury of some kind. That's a full contact, hot, tough impact sport. And Tom Brady, his wife on TV saying he basically has a concussion every year, including last year. It becomes not only dangerous, period, but more dangerous as they accumulate. That's why after multiple concussions, a lot of guys retire because of the danger each one then poses, the next one then poses. So I think this is more evidence, Stephen A., that this upcoming season, for however long he is elite this season, and I expect him to start the season as an elite player, that's it for Tom Brady at an elite level. And, of course, the even more important thing is his health, of course. But I do think that's what it means in terms of football.
Well, first of all, it's a big deal because when your wife is on television talking about what concerns that she has, particularly when there's Gisele, okay? You understand? So she walks into a room, Tom Brady's going to listen. He's going to listen to her. So be very, very clear to the New England Patriot lovers and Tom Brady lovers everywhere. I mean, Gisele is she's going to have the ultimate say in the end because she is his partner for a lifetime. She's the one that's committed herself and she's going to take care of him and she's definitely watching his back and he knows that. But until the moment he stops playing, the reality is very, very clear. Tom Brady is exceptional. He may be the greatest ever. Just this year, in only 12 games, he passed for more than 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions on the entire season, and he came back from a 28-3 deficit and won a Super Bowl championship. I've seen no evidence that he's going to fall off a cliff, and the fact that he's had concussions and he still has played the way that he has played is even more of a reason to marvel at his greatness, and I don't see it dissipating anytime in the near future. But as it pertains to the direct question as to whether or not there is cause for concern, anytime your baby, your woman, your wife looks you in your face and then looks in the face of the public and says what she says, with all of us knowing how private Tom Brady tries to be and pretty much is, for her to come out publicly and say this, it's not a good thing for the NFL. And it's not a good thing for New England Patriots lovers everywhere because all it says to me is that the concerns that Tom Brady or others may have expressed, it's exponentially higher rather than what they have expressed.
Yeah, by the way,
because she wouldn't be saying so if it were not the case.
I don't want to trivialize the seriousness of his repeated.
Anything.
No, I know you're not, and I also want to be very, very clear that I don't want to trivialize the serious nature and how it'll affect him in the future of Tom Brady's concussions. To say, I told you so, or see. But I do want to just get something straight here because I was making the same claim about Brett Favre when I was doing New York radio years ago, and everyone's saying Brett Favre can play till he's 50. No, he can't. He'll be done before he's 41 as an elite player. No, you're crazy. And people would point to examples in the past. But it's different with Favre. With Favre, there's never been an injury or there's never been this and that. Okay, it was the same with Favre. Peyton Manning, same thing. But now people will say, well, he had the neck surgery. But at the time, look at how he recovered. He threw 55 touchdowns in a season, smashing the record. And the next season, before he got hurt, when he ended with 39 touchdowns, he was on pace at one point to break his previous record the previous season. Everyone said, see, you're crazy. Peyton could do this forever. And now everyone points to the injury. I just want to be straight about this. When Tom Brady is no longer elite at the age of 41, as I've told you, and everyone in the world seems has been arguing with me about this, are people going to point to the concussions and say, well, there was that concussion thing, because yes, that's part of it. This is part of it. I am pointing to this now as the kind of evidence that suggests he will no
Makes
longer be
sense.
elite at 41.